where it could fluctuate in value, you go to spend it, and you suddenly don't have the money, because things just aren't priced that way. The other side with the UI UX is that fees have been a huge problem. When DeFi finally did pick up and there was actual consumer products where people were doing things during DeFi summer on Ethereum, that was my first experience diving into the DeFi trenches, I guess, with the yield farming. I actually tried to deposit USDC into a stablecoin pool in Uniswap. And when I did that, it cost me $50 just to get into that position for an APY of roughly 7%. So when I realized that I was going to have to pay fees to get back out of it, yeah, that wasn't going to be the future of finance. There wasn't going to be internet capital markets built there. And I pretty much went all in on the soul and never looked back. And then the last thing, if my mom wants to get into crypto with some of these new consumer apps that are coming out, the last thing is you're out to dinner and you want to split a bill, and you're using stablecoins to do that now potentially. If my mom were to download an app and see 12 words, let alone 24 words, with some warning message that says, don't share this with anybody, anybody that has this has full control over your assets, you might lose everything, that's not a great onboarding experience. And to try to write those down or save them somewhere securely while you're out to dinner just doesn't really make sense. So enter stablecoins. Right? Stablecoins are truly changing the way we save, send, spend, and swap. These four things, I would venture to say that everybody in this room, everybody potentially watching this stream, and everybody that you know that knows nothing about stablecoins and crypto do one or many of these things probably every single day. And so we wanted to build a better way to bridge all of these actions to actual stablecoins on-chain. And so that's where you get AmpPay clashing with stablecoins. So what did we do? We built a mobile app that's stablecoin-centric. The idea here was to just keep it very simple. When my mom looks at this app, when my grandma looks at this app, or any of my friends that aren't in the crypto space look at this app, they should be able to understand it and understand what they're doing. And that was what I wanted to build while still building something that solved my own problems. So whether it was on and off ramping my money or just spending it directly, I wanted to be able to do all of that with this application. So the first thing is integrated Solana DeFi. We wanted to take all of those confusing things, like the words in the title of this slide, TradFi meets DeFi. If you don't know what that is, it's traditional finance and decentralized finance. My grandma has no idea what those words are. She doesn't know what Carrot protocol is. She doesn't know what a DEX aggregator is. She doesn't know what lending and borrowing protocols are. So she does know what a savings account is and what deposit and withdrawal mean. So that's what's in our app. Meanwhile, all those other fancy words and DeFi jargon, that's all being integrated underneath. The next part is no transaction fees. We actually build all the transactions in the application. Your wallet in AmpPay is actually a self-custodial wallet. So if you wanted to, you could actually just export your private keys, go to a different wallet UI. However, for someone like my grandma, I can actually have her download this app. She can log in, and I can send her $1. She sees that $1. If she wanted to go and do another action using a regular wallet, she would also need a gas token and pay fees. And so we've actually hidden all of that and removed that from her wallet. So if you look at her wallet on chain, there's no SOL in that wallet. We actually have our own fee payer wallet. So when we build a transaction for her, when she wants to send that money or put it into a savings account, we're actually paying that transaction fee. The next thing is global access. So as I just mentioned, you can actually export the private key, take it anywhere. You can also just take the app on your phone and go anywhere in the world. So your money moves with you. You can take it anywhere, you can send it anywhere, and you can spend it anywhere. And then finally, Web2 socials. I would say everybody in this room probably has an email address, and so do your grandparents, your parents, and any of your friends. So having an email, being able to link your X handle, setting your own username, it just makes it a very familiar experience for everybody not crypto, but also in the crypto space. So what do we want to do with this? Well, obviously we want to onboard billions with familiar finance. That's how we're going to do it. My mom knows what a Visa credit card is. My grandma also does too. So we have a Visa credit card. We're currently live in, I believe, 75 countries. So you can get that and spend anywhere Visa is accepted. As I've mentioned multiple times, the savings account right now, I think before I got on here, it was like 8.92% APY. So in the app, you can easily deposit and withdraw. Again, you don't need any SOL. So if I send my mom money or one of my friends money, instead of using Venmo, you could use AmpPay, and you could immediately deposit that and start earning yield on that dollar balance. At the bottom, you can search for people by their name, number, email, and phone number. Some of these things we've made exact match because obviously we still want to respect privacy. And you can see usernames that have been set. And in this case, I've linked my X account, so my PFP just gets pulled in. Shout out to SMEs. And then the last thing in the bottom right is my assets. So people are familiar with Robinhood and Fidelity. And I think one of the really cool things that has come out recently is tokenized stocks on Solana and other real world assets as well. So here you can still, everybody in this room can buy their fart coin and bonk and all that stuff. But you can also buy X stocks. So things like Amazon and Tesla, those are stocks that, my friends would be familiar with. Meanwhile, they're probably not necessarily going here to specifically buy Fartcoin. So this is how we hope to onboard billions with familiar finance, as well as what I like to call full stack finance, offering a suite of all of these things that people do every day to send, spend, save, and swap. And we're doing that with AmpPay. If you want to find us, we're on X, Get AmpPay. Our website is getampay.com. Our app is available in every app store, and that's not just the Apple App Store and Google Play Store, but that's also the Solana App Store. So for anybody watching, Solana released the second mobile phone, the Seeker, and you can actually download AmpPay there. We will be releasing some special rewards soon, so keep an eye out for that. And then, obviously, my personal X as well. But thank you so much.